Greetings and welcome to another video in our VoiceAttack Elite VA and Elite Dangerous series. In this episode, we're going to look at our backpack consumables and how we can tell what we've got in there and use some of them. So I've already made some commands up, which lets us see how many consumables we have in our backpack, and also to let us use the medkits and the energy cells with our voice. Let's have a look at the commands. We've got the first one here, which is how many of what item do I have? We can see here we've got the voice trigger at the top. So we can ask how many of a specific item we have in our backpack. The first thing it does is it will check to see if we're actually on foot on a planet's surface. If we're not, it will just come out of the command straight away and not do anything else. The next thing it will do, it will check to see what we've actually asked for. So if we said, how many energy cells do I have? It will detect that using the dynamic commands in the voice trigger, and then we're using the command segment token to pull that information out. So if command segment 1 contains energy cells, it will set our find item variable to be energy cell. If it's medkits, it will set it to health pack, disruptor to grenade EMP, and so on. We can get these values from our backpack file. We can see our current contents. So at the top it shows that the number of unique items in our backpack is 6, and we have them here. E-breach, shield protector, frag grenade, shield disruptor, energy cell, and medkit. Each item has 4 lines associated with it, which tells us the name that the game uses, in this case health pack, the localized version of it, which will be in your current system language, so in my case it will be medkit, the owner ID, which isn't used at the moment, and then the count, which is how many of that particular item we have. So in this case, we've got 2 medkits, 2 energy cells, 3 shield disruptors, and so on. The number on the line denotes the position in our backpack. So that's position 0, position 1, position 2, and so forth. And this is how we can work out what we have in our backpack. If we go back to the command, we know what we're looking for because we're setting that with the voice trigger. So here we're going to set 2 command scope variables that we're going to use in our subcommand, the backpack checker. Once that runs, it will pass back to this command information in the found item and found item amount that we can use in the next section. If the found item equals not found, as in we don't have that particular consumable in our backpack, it will tell us we have 0 of said item, and it will write that out to the VA log. If we found 1 of the requested item, it will tell us we have found 1 of that item, and again write it out to the log window. If it's greater than 1, we do something a little bit different. For e-breaches, we need to add an ES onto the end rather than just an S. All it does is checks to see if the found item equals e-breach. If it does, it will set found item to e-breaches, and then we'll just say you have X e-breaches and write it to the log, and then it will just X out of the command. Otherwise, it will just say you have X medkits, energy cells, or whatever we found. So that's that command. Now we need to look at the backpack checker command, which is here. This command will loop through our backpack items to try and find what we've requested from the how many do I have command. So here we set a loop variable to 0 because we want to start at the beginning. We've got a little annotation there to tell us what the loop is going to do. Well, let's have a look at the loop. We've got 2 things in here. So we want the loop to run until we find the item we've requested or we reach the end of the backpack contents. So this line here, I copy this out, we'll put it into Notepad, and then we'll go to here and we'll take this bit. By looking at them like this, we can see they are almost identical. All we're doing is replacing a number that denotes the position in the backpack with a variable, which is the loop count. And if it doesn't contain what's in the find item variable, it will keep looping. This one here, all we're doing is we're comparing what's in the loop variable with the length of the backpack contents. So in here, we've got 6 unique items in the backpack, so the loop cannot run more than 6 times. If we find the item we're looking for, the loop will exit out straight away and will be at the correct position in the backpack. We can then, in this section, work out whether we've actually got the correct item or if we haven't found anything. If we have found the item, we can set the found item variable to be, in this case, let's say energy cell, and then the amount to be 2. If we haven't found the item, we'll set the found item variable to not found. Either way, this command will finish and we'll go back to the primary command. We're back in here and we can now test this in the game. How many medkits do I have?
You have 2 medkits.
We've got 2 medkits. And we can also check this. There we go. How many energy cells do I have?
You have 2 energy cells.
How many disruptors do I have?
You have 3 shield disruptors.
How many grenades do I have?
You have 3 frag grenades.
How many projectors do I have?
You have 2 shield projectors.
How many e-breaches do I have?
You have 1 e-breach.
There you go. Now if I change this a little bit. Transfer the items. And if we look back at the backpack, we can now see we've only got 5 unique items in it. We've lost the disruptor cells. How many disruptors do I have?
You have 0 am_grenade_imps.
We have 0 disruptors. You can see here that it's using the localized name still, but we can fix that later. As long as we know what it is, that's all that matters. The other 2 things we have is using a medkit and using an energy cell. Basically the same commands with a few slight differences. If we look at the medkit one first. So in the voice trigger, we've got alternative phrases. Apply a medkit, patch me up, heal me, use a medkit. You can add more if you want to. We then check to see if we're on the planet's surface or not. If we're not, the command won't run. This checks to see if we need to use a medkit or not. And we're checking the health status from the status text file. So in here, we can see our health and our oxygen. But we can't see how much energy we have. I'm not sure why they never added it in, but they didn't. So if our health equals 1, which is 100%, it will say we are at full health and then it will exit out of the command. There's no point trying to apply a health pack if we don't need to. So it will set the find item to health pack because we need to see if we've actually got in our backpack to use. It will then initialize the found item and the found item amount. Execute the backpack checker. Return the values. If we don't have any medkits, it will tell us we have none, and then it will exit out the command. If we do have at least 1, it will then press the key in the game to apply the medkit, reduce the amount by 1 in the found item amount, and it will do a compare to see how many we have left. If we have 0, it will warn us that we have 0 med packs left. If we have 1, it will tell us we have 1 left. If we have more than 1, If we have more than one, it'll tell us that too. The NG1 is slightly different. We've still got the variable voice triggers. So the only difference in this command is we can't check our current NG state. So if we give the command accidentally, it'll still run and give us a false reading on the energy cell count. So let's actually use the commands quickly. We go outside, and I'll put on the shields and use some of our energy. Fill me up.
You have 1 energy cell left.
You know, I've got 100% energy again, and it's told us we have 1 energy cell left, and we can check. We have 1 energy cell left. We're going to do the same with the health, and we're going to hurt myself. Oh, not close enough. There we go, I've injured myself. How many grenades do I have?
You have 1 frag grenade.
No, I've only got 1 frag grenade left. Apply a medkit.
You have 1 medkit left.
And now we've got full health again, and it's told us we have 1 medkit left. We could do something similar for the 3 types of hand grenades to tell us how many we've got left and when we run out as we use them. But that's something we could look at in another video. There are some commands which can be helpful while we're out on foot, especially if we're in combat. We can keep track of what we've got in our backpack, how many of our energy cells we have left, med kits, and so on. If you have any questions, comments, ideas, what do you think, put them in the comments section below, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. If you've enjoyed the video or found it useful, click the like button, and if you haven't already, hit the subscribe too, and share the video out. Until the next one, take care, and I'll see you soon. Toodles!